Hey everyone, this is Chef, and welcome to Commander Camp. This is going to be a new regular series on the channel that covers how to be a commander in World vs. World. We'll discuss both approaches to fighting other groups, as well as capturing and defending objectives, with the goal of giving you the tools that you need to succeed at organizing and running a squad. We'll eventually get into some specific topics, but here in the first episode, I want to make sure that we're covering the basics so that even people who are unfamiliar with commanding can get up to speed and we can all start on the same foot. So here today, in this video, we're going to walk through the steps that you need to take to command your first World vs. World squad. And what better place to start, in my mind, than to answer the question, why would you bother commanding at all? For me, I think that commanding is what keeps World vs. World interesting and engaging as a game mode, no matter how you choose to play it. There's the obvious answer. If there's no commanders, then there's no organized squads, and there's no organized fights. That's the part of World vs. World that I happen to enjoy. But really, commanding is about getting to play World vs. World in the way that you want to. You get to decide where to fight, who to fight, what structures to attack, and when to defend. And you get to deepen your knowledge of the game mode in the process. And even if you personally don't want to command, being able to understand how your commander thinks, and what your commander wants to do, will make you better at both following allied commanders and fighting against enemy commanders. So, how do you get started with creating a squad and leading them around in World vs. World? Let's start with the absolute basics, buying the Commander's Compendium. This item can be purchased for 300 gold from Commander NPCs in any capital city, as well as legendary Commanders War Razor and Burn Razor in World vs. World maps and Armistice Bastion. Once you've purchased the Compendium, you can start a squad by opening the party panel using P, or clicking the arrow at the top left of your screen and clicking Create Squad. On the following screen, you have a number of options. The Lock All Subgroups box prevents players in your squad from moving themselves to different parties. If you want to control the makeup of individual parties, you want to check this box. Otherwise, leave it unchecked to allow people in your squad to self-organize. The Allow Members to Send Invites box allows anyone in squad to invite other players. If it's unchecked, only the commander and lieutenants they've appointed can invite other players. The Private Squad box controls the visibility of your tag to allies. If you don't want other players to know you're commanding, you want to leave this unchecked so that other players can't see your tag. Below these options, the Allow Uninvited Players to Join option is for controlling how other players join the squad. When set to Yes, anyone can join, there will be no confirmation box when a player joins squad, and they'll go directly into Party 1. When set to Yes with approval, players joining the squad must wait for the commander or lieutenants to approve the join request. And when set to No, players can't join the squad at all, and have to be invited by somebody else in the squad. You can also change the type of commander tag that you use, and its color, on the right side of this window. Finally, as a commander, you can also appoint a number of lieutenants. These are people in your squad who are able to help with its organization. Lieutenants can invite and move other players in a squad, and can also place squad markers for marking targets or areas on the ground. You can appoint a player as a lieutenant by right-clicking their name, or right-clicking them in the squad grid and selecting Appoint Lieutenant. Before you start inviting anyone to your squad, however, you should first figure out what profession you want to command on. In my opinion, choosing the right profession to command on matters much less than people actually think it does. A good commander profession is a profession that you can live on, and virtually all professions in the game have enough defensive utilities and boon sources to be effective commanders. That said, there are a few shoulds and shouldn'ts around selecting a good commander profession, so let's talk about those quick. A good commander profession is one that has its own sources of stability, resistance, and stun breaks, has at least one damage mitigation skill, or full immunity. It should be something that you're comfortable playing and know relatively well, and something that uses heavily defensive-oriented stats, such as Sentinels. A good commander profession should not be something that uses movement utility skills like leaps, blinks, or shadow steps, because these make you difficult to follow. Some of the most popular choices for commanding professions are Spellbreakers, Firebrands, and Chronomancers, as these professions offer great boon support and also have access to strong defensive utilities, making them difficult to kill. But the truth is, you can command on any class that you're comfortable with and can survive on. and there are commanders of relatively successful guilds that use professions other than the three I listed above to great effect. Having a separate character that you use to command also helps you keep squad consumables like food, siege, and banners organized and in one place. So if you have the free character slot, consider making a brand new character for commanding specifically. So now you've got your commander tag, you have your commander character, and you started a squad. Maybe you even made some friends lieutenants so that they can help you keep things organized. Now, you just need something to do. One of the best ways to get started as a new commander, especially if you don't have a guild behind you to support you, is to tag up to complete daily and weekly achievements. These are a set of common goals that most people will want to complete, and they'll give you good practice for coordinating people to attack structures at a specific spot and going to specific places on the map. Even if you use voice comms, which isn't strictly necessary, you'll still want to use say chat and map chat to give people instructions, such as what objectives you'll attack next and whether there's enemies in the area. You can also use team chat to let people know that you're tagged out from other maps and let them know what you plan to do for the night. If you plan to fight other groups, you'll want to pay close attention to the composition of the individual parties inside of your own squad. A squad that's organized into cohesive parties will be a more effective fighting force than a squad that has everyone in the same party. The basic structure of a world versus world party is a profession that gives stability, aegis, resistance, or other defensive boons, a profession that cleanses conditions and heals as its primary role, and then other damage professions that can deliver good damage output and spike. Placing a boon support and a cleanse support in each party ensures that boons, cleanses, and heals are spread evenly across your entire squad, so that everyone is able to play effectively. Additionally, even though you'll likely run your own support as a commander, it helps to have a secondary support in your party, so that you can focus on leading the squad overall and have someone else help with condition cleanses, stun breaks, and stability for yourself personally. If you aren't sure what build someone is playing in your squad, it never hurts to whisper them to find out, and you can also ask if people are willing to swap classes in squad chat in order to achieve a more effective overall group. Those are the basics of being a commander in World vs. World. But let's talk about what makes a commander good. You are a good commander if people have fun in your squad. That's it. It's not about winning fights, capturing objectives, or having a positive kill death, unless those are things that you and people in your squad already enjoy doing. It's about making sure that you and the people in your group are having a good time playing a game with one another. Commit this to memory, because even later on, when we're talking about the best places to drop siege, or techniques for winning fights, everything boils down to having fun and being entertaining at the end of the day. Of course, what your specific squad finds fun is going to depend on your own style of commanding and the kinds of people in your group. That's a process that you'll work on over time, as different people join your squads and have different things that they want to accomplish, and your own styles as a commander evolve as you learn more. There's a delicate balance between doing what you want as a commander and doing what people in your squad want, but this is one of those things that you figure out as you go and as you improve. I think that about covers it for the absolute basics of getting started as a commander. This should cover pretty much everything you need to know to start a squad and go out and lead for a couple hours on any of the borderlands. Obviously, there's a lot left to cover to improve on that, and future videos are going to cover one of three main topics. In the first, we'll cover general commanding tips, like managing supply, being an effective communicator, and having map awareness. In the second, we'll cover strategies for attacking and defending specific objectives on the map, good siege spots, good choke points inside of a tower that you can use to win fights. And in the third, we'll review footage of fights that I've had and discuss techniques that you can use to turn the odds in your favor if you choose to fight other players. I hope you'll join me for these videos, as this is a series that I've been looking forward to making for a very long time, and there's no end of topics to talk about on this subject. If you have suggestions for specific things that you'd like to see discussed, let me know in the comments, and if you're also looking forward to new videos in this series, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There's also a Discord link in the description where you can see and give feedback on new videos before they release. And finally, I command every Friday over on Twitch, so stop by there if you'd like to see me play in real time and ask questions there. But until then, I've been Chef, and enjoy the rest of your day.